Hey everybody, you are listening to a WolfPack Podcast Roundtable episode. This is not in the numbered WolfPack, podcast episodes we have out. This is just purely our roundtable for Star Wars Rebels. And tonight we're talking about Star Wars Rebels Season 1, Episodes 1 and 2, but really a movie two episodes combined into a movie. And it's entitled Star Wars Rebels Million. Before we actually talk about that, let's talk about just a quick breaking news thing that came this week based on Star Wars The Clone Wars. But before we talk about that, we'll introduce everybody. I'm Corey, of course, to my left or right, however it says it. We got Logan.
You forgot my name, huh?
I was going to say Boba.
Hi, everybody. I'm frozen right now, so if I vanish during the call at any time, don't worry, I'll be back.
We got Marco.
What's up?
We got
Dan. Hello, everyone. Sorry, I'm eating my snack, which is awesome.
Yogan fruit.
Yeah, it's not the same as what we saw in Rebels, but the red apples, they're usually pretty good. I like them. So anyway, yeah, wow, what an episode. What a way to kick off the new era of Star Wars with Rebels. Very cool. Can't wait to talk about it.
Oh, heck yeah. So real quickly, breaking news for those of you guys who are fans of Star Wars The Clone Wars, StarWars.com uploads something called Star Wars The Clone Wars Legacy, where pretty much you get a full animatic arc based on the Utapau arc with Anakin and Obi-Wan. It's actually a very awesome arc. It is, again, it's in the animatic stage, but if you're a Clone Wars fan, try your best to get past that. It was kind of funny. Me and Marco and Nabil watched it the other night, and we call it force gliding when they're kind of gliding through stuff.
They have a lot of these animatics on the Clone Wars Blu-rays that they've released so far. So if you've watched any of those, it's the same type of thing.
Just with the actual voice acting from Matt Lanter, James Arnold Taylor. So really awesome. Really liked that episode arc. They showed some concept art for Son of Dathomir, and I think the next one was Son of Dathomir, and then it was the Ventress arc, yeah. So that's pretty cool. So, that being said, Logan dropped out. He will be back. Star Wars The Clone Wars, go check it out, StarWars.com. But let's get on to what we're going to talk about this week. Star Wars Rebels premiered. Surprise premiere yesterday on Wednesday, I think. Disney announced that the Disney XD app was getting Rebels. I think that came to a surprise to all of us. So,
yeah.
A cool little,
That's what a way to jumpstart it. I think it officially starts next week, right?
Yes. Also, for those of you who have not seen Rebels yet, and this is going to be kind of a spoiler review, so if you don't really want to hear about the whole entire episode and kind of what happens in it, I don't recommend watching it till you've seen it. Or if you really don't care about spoilers, then, check it out. But, yeah, so
let me say one thing before we start. A few months back, there was a rumored plot story report. I forget which website had it, but it talked about what was reportedly the plot of the premiere episode of Star Wars Rebels. They were right.
Pretty interesting leak that they have.
We just watched it. At least I just watched it for the first time tonight, and it was pretty on spot with what I remember the description being. So very cool, and that was, give some credibility to the site, which I cannot remember, so I apologize for that. But some good information, and a very good episode. Like I said, as we get into it, we'll talk more.
Oh yeah, I do want to say that Logan, who will be coming back soon, he's seen it 5 times, Spark of Rebellion. I've seen it 4, so I think we've got enough information in our heads about it to do a good review on it. But man, where to begin with it? It was just really. First, I want to say before we talk about it, those of you, it's going to be a repeat or the same feeling as Star Wars The Clone Wars is, it's actually a pretty different feeling to it. It's unique, it's different, and I think that's kind of cool that, in each incarnation of Star Wars, whether it's the original trilogy, prequels, Clone Wars, it's still the same galaxy, and you know it is. It still feels like the same galaxy. Just it's not focusing on those specific characters. Like that's what I like about all these different incarnations of Star Wars is that they're all unique. But I think me and Logan have been totally sold on Rebels.
Yep.
Since Star Wars Weekends. So, and actually at the end of our review, we're going to be talking about some of the products that are out from Rebels. But, yeah, so where should we begin? I mean,
We'll begin at the beginning. The opening sequence introduces Aladdin to us. Wait, no, Ezra to us all. See, I stole it from you. Now you can't do it.
Nice.
And if you remember, they had shown the opening, I don't know, maybe like a month or so ago. It was one of those sneak peeks, the first 7 minutes or something like that. But remember it was in French when it first came out?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I had seen the sequence, and I knew kind of what was going to happen. But it was, I remember back then I said it's like Aladdin in Agrabah, and it still is the same kind of thing. Has that same feel. We meet all the characters in the midst of a mission that we're not really sure what it's all about yet. But the one thing that we noticed tonight is the death toll of the stormtroopers is pretty freaking high.
I did count it.
What was the count?
The stormtrooper carnage count was 33. So
33.
in 42 minutes, 33 stormtroopers were either brutally, blown up, brutally shot in the face, brutally, thrown out of a ship, or a Wookiee would snap their neck. So yes, or Agent Callus would kick them in the face and they would fall to their death. So yes, the stormtrooper toll. All of you haters.
It might have been more because there's one scene, where some people get sucked out into space that might have been more than what we saw.
Could have been more. Yep.
Could have been more. There are little like white flashes going by on the screen, but
right. So all you haters out there that say, "Oh, it's so childish." Okay. No, it's not. Not at all. So I'm very happy with the way that turned out. That they really show that the Empire is ruthless too. They will shoot you. They don't care who you are. They'll shoot you. So
they will shoot the little Wookiee if they want to.
Yeah, I really liked the little Wookiee. It made me feel sad for him when he was running.
He really looked. The little Wookiee, Kitwar was his name.
Kitwar, yeah.
He looks like the plush, like this chew.
There goes Logan.
So apparently he looks like
that the little Wookiee looks like the plush doll of Chewbacca that he had.
I'm not exactly sure which one he's referring to.
He's back. I thought it was a good introduction to all the characters that we've known about for the main crew. The team doesn't have a name or anything like that, so you can't call them the Avengers or Revengers or whatever. But they also answered a question: is why don't we see a lot of Hera in some of these promotional pieces and artwork and clips? It's because she's flying the ship.
Right, she's the pilot. So
yeah. So if it seems like they've forgotten her, they haven't, because she's actually flying the Goose.
Yes, believe it or not, it's okay. Hera's in it.
But also, didn't we catch early on that there seems to be a relationship between her and Kanan?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Kanan and Hera have something going on. Obviously, if you guys have read Star Wars: A New Dawn, you'll know that there's a little something going on there. But she did say to him in the beginning, she called him love. So looks like they have a little something going on there. So kind of cool that they can get along. Oh man, so that's kind of cool that they all have different relationships within the group. Kanan and Hera are really what Sabine, Zeb, Ezra, and Chopper look up to. If I can consider Chopper in that, right? And Chopper is really like their kid that they started out with. He's the first of the next three. He's the robotic version, and then of course you get Zeb. And I do want to know, it's kind of funny that Zeb is actually 39. Beating on 14-year-old Ezra kind of cracks me up.
He's 39. They mentioned that?
Yeah, he's 39. I do want to say that Zeb is totally my favorite character.
Oh, he was awesome.
Yeah, I really liked him. Steve.
I mean, you think he's like the warrior, the big bouncer, bruiser, whatever, but he kind of had a heart in one scene where, he kind of felt bad about something.
Yeah,
He was very expressive.
Yes.
That's something I wanted to point out about the animation is that all the characters were really expressive, and
Yes.
He wants to put out.
I'm freezing up again.
Yes.
I apologize. This
Logan.
sucks.
So yeah, but kind of what Logan was saying, yeah, there's a really awesome dynamic between all the characters, and Steve Bloom does such a good job as Zeb. I mean, we met him at Star Wars Weekends, me and Logan. Such a great guy, so down to earth. He loves what he does, and he really brings so much life into Zeb. Same with Vanessa Marshall as Hera. Freddie Prinze as Kanan, Taylor Gray as Ezra, Tia Sircar as Sabine. I mean, they all really bring a certain element to the characters that they bring them to life essentially. So
Yeah.
Of course, the animators as well. And I believe, if I could be right, did Dave direct this?
Oh, I didn't.
That's what you told me, so I believed you.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Now, this Star Wars Rebels was a show that he originally pitched before the Clone Wars, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I believe
He wanted to bring this out way before now, and kind of dusted off the proposal and pitched it to Disney when they took over, and they went for it. And I think it's a really good transition away from, sorry, Corey, the Clone Wars into what is the new era of Star Wars, the sequel movies, and now with Rebels. And it's got a very feel similar to the original trilogy, which is not a bad thing, folks.
Oh, right, yeah, without doubt. It's actually directed by Stuart Lee, Stephen G. Lee, and it's written by Simon Kinberg. So that's the movie. Yeah, my little trusty handbook here. So that's pretty cool. So let's start from the beginning. You got the 7-minute clip that we've all seen on YouTube or Disney XD or whatnot. That's the very beginning of Rebels. So that's how it starts off with the the theme song, the Rebels logo coming up, and that Vader music just in the beginning, and Ezra's looking at the Star Destroyer was such a cool shot. I really like that a lot. I mean, he's just looking up at it, and you can tell. He's like, whoa, what is going on? So that was pretty cool. And there was a lot of moments when the Rebels are running, you feel like they're in danger. They're being shot at, they're being, stormtroopers obviously want to kill them. So it's actually very cool to see, this whole battle just unfold with them. And honestly, I am just so glad we're getting new Star Wars. I mean, after that huge, almost essentially a year and a half drought, of nothing except for, of course, the awesome Season 6 of Clone Wars, but we've finally gotten, weekly Star Wars again, which I'm super excited about.
But we have to point out, I have to point out, is something that I glimpsed in the special footage that they had shown, but we definitely saw this character walking around in I think, 2 scenes, from what I remember. It's the blue hammerhead.
Yeah, he was there.
He was there. So the nod to the classic Kenner Star Wars action figure line is still alive and well in the Rebels series, which was pretty awesome to just see that. It was just a quick second, but I was like, look, it's Blue Hammerhead.
It was very cool because, in Clone Wars we saw Ponda Baba, the original Walrus Man.
Yes.
And the droid.
I don't know if they ever named that character, but it was definitely the Walrus Man figure that Kenner had done.
Right, and then we also saw Blue Snaggletooth in the revival episode. So I like that they're bringing classic Kenner figures into it. I hope they continue to do that. It's cool. It's cool to see, really. I'd like to see kind of like a just completely blonde-haired, really blonde-haired farm boy that kind of looks like Luke, Kennerized. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, so the beginning, they're doing that speeder bike chase, and one thing I didn't notice before was when they get on their speeder bikes, there's like an ATDP on the side that kind of just moves its head a little bit, which I thought was a pretty cool shot as well. I think one thing that I like the most about this particular episode is all those shots of the Ghost just kind of blasting into the TIE fighters or whatnot. I really like the Ghost. What about you guys?
That looks like a cool ship.
Definitely. I hope at some point Hasbro makes it. They've already made the command version of it.
Oh, yes.
The great Star Wars command, which we all love.
For science fiction fans, this show to me has a very similar sort of spirit, if you will, of the Firefly series. No, you don't think so?
I think maybe a little bit. Yeah.
I think it does. It's got
I can dig it. I can know Marco digs it. I can't speak English apparently.
Oh.
I don't think so, but
Marco, your turn.
No.
Speak up.
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I will say it. I'm not scared to admit it. I'm not a fan of Firefly. So.
Whoa.
Oh.
Them's fighting words.
Whoa.
So that could be my reason to not really compare them, but
The fact that they were taking their stolen goods and delivering to someone else who maybe didn't have the best intentions. You saw some of that in the Firefly series.
Yeah.
And the
It's not so much like directly with the characters, but some
Right.
of the
Well, also, I mean,
I can't
Joss
speak in
Whedon has
this.
said many times that the Firefly was kind of like, hey, you know what would Han Solo do? So that's what I really want to do is in a series like that. And that's where Firefly came out of. So now it's sort of like they're turning the tables around again and bringing that back. And having the characters all go into like a central meeting room, complete with the Jarek table. That was pretty awesome.
There's a few reasons why I don't think it really matches Firefly, but I don't know.
Why does it match?
I can't see that connection, but maybe I'll have to watch it again. Firefly.
I recommend that anyway.
Yeah, one thing I want to notice is we got our Hondo. We got our Hondo of Rebels. All right, well, let's see if I can pronounce
Vizago.
it. Jakarto.
Vizago.
Yeah, Vizago. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the voice actor's name. If you guys want to know, it's Keith. It's
Something.
Keith something. So you can check out our website to see his name. I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry.
And he, of course, has the two droids that are reminiscent of early Ralph McQuarrie IG-88 designs.
Which those look awesome.
Yeah, there is so much tribute to Ralph McQuarrie in this series. It's actually quite nice, quite touching. So many of the character designs are right off of his sketchbook. A lot of the vehicles, of course, that we've seen, and very, very cool.
Also, one character that I really am beginning to like a lot is Callus, Agent Callus.
Sabretooth.
Sabretooth, yeah. I really just like that sense of he's bad, but to me he doesn't seem like he would. I can see him joining with the Rebels. Let me just say that.
What?
I think if the Empire did something to really tick him off, I think we could see him flip sides. I think they might pull an Avatar, where there was Prince Zuko in Avatar, who started out as a bad guy, and then by the end of the series he had turned around,
When you said Avatar, I was thinking the big blue aliens.
No, no, I'm talking Avatar: The Last Airbender, the good Avatar. Oops, did I say that?
Yes, the good Avatar.
The good Avatar.
The good Avatar. Well, it wasn't terrible.
That's a different podcast completely. So Rebels, where were we?
Okay, actually, I want to address this real quickly. Somebody put in the comments Star Wars Rebels versus Star Wars The Clone Wars. For me, honestly, both of them are my favorites. Clone Wars is always going to be my favorite, but honestly, I view Star Wars all the same, So I don't really choose favorite. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, well, and it's hard to compare a series that just started
right,
to a series that just ended.
right, yeah.
Now, if you want to compare the Clone Wars movie to this as a movie, that's a little different. That you actually could probably draw a comparison on. But
Clone Wars movie
how do you feel, Corey?
Well,
Logan?
you guys will know my Clone Wars fandom. Yes, I actually think the Rebels movie was better than the Clone Wars movie. So, I'm actually pretty surprised. People are surprised that I'm not a Firefly flan.
You can't speak English either.
Sorry. So, yeah. Anyways, the other thing I liked about the show was the music.
The music is incredible.
The music.
I like it more than the techno music in the first couple of seasons of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
It's the same guy, but different direction.
But he nailed it with John Williams' theme. He nailed it.
Yes.
He really nailed it. You know what? If they were to play that next to John Williams, I wouldn't tell the difference. They both really.
Hold on now.
Oh.
There's a difference.
There's a difference, but I'm not.
They're both really good.
I don't think I could tell a difference.
I did like the Wilhelm scream. That's always fun when that's included.
Yes, I love it. Now
I take back everything I said about Ezra's slingshot. Everything I said. I love it. He killed a storm. Yeah.
I'm not loving it, but I'll give it a chance.
I at first I wasn't a huge fan of it. I like it now. It's not my favorite thing in it, but I think it's definitely something that I really like. Also, tune in to next week's show because we're going to be giving away Star Wars Rebels Ezra's Gamble, the book.
What?
So yeah, we got some Rebels prizes going on and maybe some Subway bags. I don't know. We'll have to.
Ooh, Subway bags.
Subway bags.
Star Wars Subway bags, of course.
No, Guardians of the Galaxy Subway bags.
Yeah. So
they have those.
They did.
Next week as well, and you will get a chance to win this and more Rebels prizes. So maybe if figures hit this week, and they probably won't, but if they do, hey, pick up a few for this. So yeah. So I think my favorite part in the entire episode or movie had to have been the dynamic between Zeb and Ezra. I really kind of like that Zeb didn't really like Ezra at first, and then kind of throughout the movie he started to kind of accept Ezra more.
Mm-hmm.
I did think it was kind of funny when he just totally smacked Ezra right in the face. Just right in the face, too.
Well, he had the helmet on.
He had the helmet on, yeah. But I can imagine that would still hurt. So, obviously there's a little something going on between Ezra likes Sabine. There isn't something going on there, but they like each. Well, he likes her.
He finds her attractive. That.
Mm-hmm.
I do wonder if that's gonna grow throughout the show, or if that's just kind of some. I think that's setting up something, but
I almost hope it doesn't.
Yeah.
Not a romance, maybe like a big sister, little brother type of thing. That might be kind of fun, but if there's already a romance between Kanan and Hera, I mean, I think that's probably enough.
Yeah. I would imagine.
Who's next? Zeb and Chopper? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I'd still rather see Kanan and Hera than anything with Ezra and Sabine. If there's gonna be any love story in it,
Probably they'll reveal that Ezra and Sabine are brother and sister. So.
Oh God!
We've done that already.
Hey! I'm not gonna lie.
That's too far in the original trilogy for me.
They do kind of have the same skin tone, though.
They both have mysterious parent issues.
Oh my gosh, Dan.
That's kind of horrifying.
I know nothing.
Kanan's their dad. No.
Well,
but Kanan certainly has some secrets of his own. Seemed like he not only has some guarded past, if we can put it that way, but they certainly set up Ezra to perform some tests, and he seemed to met each one of those tests.
He did, and I think the coolest thing of Ezra in the entire episode was him using the Force without him knowing to open the holocron, where Obi-Wan comes out of. I think, Logan, you should talk about that.
I'm sorry, what?
Since you're the Obi-Wan fan.
Oh yeah, that.
Well,
So James Earl Taylor came back as Obi-Wan. We've known this for a while, and
Thank you, Firefox. Yeah, James Earl Taylor does a great performance. It's brief, but it's awesome.
and you can currently go out to your Toys R Us stores, and you're not going to find the Rebels pack, but you can get the Rebels pack at Toys R Us. So they've already have an Obi-Wan hologram out as a Toys R Us exclusive 3-pack. You can check out our review on all 3 of these at our review that we've done last week. Really love this Rebels figure pack. I'm really happy to have Rebels figures. Talk about that more at the end of the show. But yeah, I loved seeing Obi-Wan in it. I'm sure we'll see more of him as the series goes on, so I'm excited for that. As I'm sure Logan is too. I really like Logan's new cover photo, I gotta say.
Yeah, I like it.
yeah.
It's called Wavy Hair Obi-Wan.
Hey, that's
nice.
right.
Looks great next to the Darth Maul.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I thought that they weren't going to actually show Obi-Wan, but then Kanan opened it up a second time, and we got a little more dialogue, and we got to see Obi-Wan. So, yeah, really loving
sets
that.
the stage for what was at the end of Revenge of the Sith, and what's going on now as we get closer to. Well, I guess it's not really close, but afterwards, after Sith and before A New Hope. Like he
Right.
even mentions A New Hope, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know one thing
Although
that
you kind of are led to believe that Ezra might be the New Hope, but he's not. We already know that.
Now, also, the other thing I'm really looking forward to the show, not only, the show itself, but all the little Easter eggs and cameos we're going to be getting in it, or references. I'm really excited for that. Vader should be appearing in it sometime this season. I guarantee you Tarkin will be in it. Everybody's favorite Meeber Gascon.
What?
Just
Wait,
kidding.
I quit.
And his D Squad.
We'll get D-Squad. Obviously, the Inquisitor was only in this episode for roughly 15 seconds, so...
I think that's even a little generous.
Yeah, maybe not even. It was pretty much the same thing we've been seeing at the very end of all the Rebels trailers. We've caught a Rebel cell, Agent Callus, yada yada yada. So, it's cool. It was very
too much of him right off the bat.
Yeah.
right, and that makes sense. So, he'll be in it soon, I would imagine.
Especially since they've been saying that this is going to be a super deadly villain, if you will, for cartoons. And that's something that you need to establish. Kind of like what I was saying last week about a Darth Vader movie and how I would treat Darth Vader in upcoming films.
Yeah.
I think they're going to use, not that they use my idea, but I think they're going to do something similar with the Inquisitor and not have him featured heavily at first, so that when you do see him appear, it's like, oh crap, the Inquisitor's here, we got to run for the hills.
Right.
Whereas, if you think back to the Clone Wars, General Grievous showed up, half the Jedi just laughed. I'm like, yeah, we could take this guy.
General Grievous and Clone Wars, yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't too threatening, was he?
No.
No.
Visage Ventress shows up. She fails half her missions.
Yeah.
Those villains were not that good.
I like Ventress as a villain. Grievous, not too much. I
They
don't
weren't
like.
effective villains, though. They were good characters, but I don't think they were effective villains.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I think the thing about Grievous that I didn't like was the fact that every time he fought Obi-Wan, it was kind of like they're fighting again. It's like a married couple
He can't
always
fight
fight.
Anakin.
What?
Grievous could not fight Anakin. Ever.
That's
He
true.
couldn't meet Anakin.
Yeah, they couldn't even
kind
meet. They
of-
couldn't be in the same room.
kind of a little bit. Kind of saw Grievous, and Grievous kind of saw him in this Clone Wars episode that just premiered on StarWars.com. But it wasn't like, it was again animatic, so it didn't show too much.
As long as Anakin couldn't figure out how tall he was.
No, well, see, Anakin was turned around, so Grievous could definitely see his back. But also Anakin's got the long hair, and he's got the gauntlets are off. Obi-Wan's gauntlets are off, and they talk about Ahsoka. So
Oh, can't wait to see that.
oh yeah, it's some awesome stuff. I really enjoyed it, even though it was animatics. But anyways, going back to Rebels, I love seeing TIE fighters. I love seeing the TIE fighter pilots. That is cool.
That was a nice nod to A New Hope. Another one.
Of course, and David. Oh well, David, who plays Agent Callus. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his last name. He talked about in a interview today that we're going to be seeing a lot of original trilogy characters and old familiar faces pop up throughout the show. Obviously, we already know Bail Organa, C-3PO, R2, Vader.
They've mentioned Jabba.
They did mention Jabba.
And I believe Lando shows up in an upcoming episode.
Lando will be there. LED confirmed that to us at weekends. Yep.
He told me personally, so I mean, he's got to be in it. Or he lied to me.
Or he lied.
Billy D wouldn't lie. Come on.
No.
Of course not. Billy D's the man.
He's the coolest.
Coolest cat around. So.
I was trying not to say something.
Anyway.
I'm 99.9% sure he says that, but I could be wrong, and I could be saying something totally wrong, and I don't know it, so forgive me. I don't feel like talking now.
So
anyways,
yes. So
I'm trying to figure out which topic to move on to here.
I don't know what to say. Honestly, I don't.
Now the Wookiees. I think the Wookiees are going to be the tough part for people during this episode. What do you guys think?
They didn't bother me as much as I thought they did. I mean, I kind of am accepting the fact that this is a different animation style, and of course they're going to look different. So, I don't know. I've accepted it. I get it. I still think they're Wookiees. It doesn't really bother me as much. And I felt really sad when some of the Wookiees got shot, and, little Kitwar was just running around, and he didn't know what to do, and then his dad got shot, and his dad's fine. But that was like a whoa.
I did like the scene where they called Zeb a hairless Wookiee.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny because, of course, Zeb is based on the original Macquarie design for Chewbacca. Only a much slimmer and less hairy version. So that was kind of a nice nod. I also, in the Wookiee fight against the Stormtroopers, I kind of wanted to see a Wookiee take the Stormtroopers and rip his arms out of his sockets.
I don't think we'll be seeing that yet.
That would have been awesome, but also very violent for cartoon.
Yeah.
Maybe for Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith.
I also think maybe a young Han Solo should be in the scene so he can witness that, so that later on when he comments that to Luke or to 3PO, excuse me, that makes sense.
I like that idea.
I got a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Also, we didn't really see the Phantom in action in this episode, but I'm sure we will eventually. Definitely. I think this episode was a great starter episode, to what we're going to see soon. And I am really excited for when the show premieres in 2 weeks. I cannot wait to see R2 and 3PO with the Rebels. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
One thing that I thought was interesting was at the very end, I really loved when Kanan just ignited his lightsaber, and that music, that was awesome. He just, he's dodging all the laser blasts going past him, and, Callus is like, what the heck? And he stops the stormtroopers, and he's like, and they call it a Roundabout 22, or a Road Trip 22. It was a disguise for him to get his lightsaber out. So he has a code he tells the rebels, so the rebels are prepared for what he's about to do. which I thought was actually really, really cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So he is looking at these smuggler thieves, and that's what he's thinking he's dealing with. But all of a sudden, the Jedi comes back, and you could even see the stormtroopers were taken aback by this. They were charging at them, and all of a sudden, two of them anyway, just kind of stopped in their tracks and like, what are we supposed to do now?
Yeah.
So these are not clones.
Nope.
I'm guessing.
Not these ones.
Not these ones.
So that's an interesting a twist, I think. We're moving away from the clone era, which we should. Yeah. But I think it's interesting to see how the clones reacted, or the stormtroopers reacted to the lightsaber come out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And I think also the cool thing about it was at the very end, or we're seeing the dark elements of Rebels already, which is good. We got a lot of heartfelt moments, and now we're starting to see how the Empire is, and the Empire is not good. So at the very end, the stormtrooper kind of mockingly says to, well, first off, Callus is about to shoot Ezra, and he says, a master and an apprentice and a master, that's rare. And Ezra was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then Kanan comes and he saves Ezra, and Callus is shooting at Kanan, and Kanan deflects it and shoots right into Callus's chest. Obviously, there's armor there, so he's okay. And he grabs onto this ledge, and there's also a stormtrooper grabbing onto the ledge, and he just kind of mockingly says to Callus, "So, was this your first Jedi?" And then Callus just takes his foot and hits the stormtrooper, and yeah, that's all she wrote.
Now, do you think the stormtrooper fell to his death? Because I'm kind of thinking he died there.
I'm pretty sure he's dead. I
That
don't
was
personally.
low fall.
That was more effective to me than General Grievous beating up his droids.
Yeah.
That got out of hand really, really fast.
Well, this was an actual.
This was just a human, just like, you know what? You're dead.
Yeah. That was probably at least 40 feet. Like, he's so dead.
He was dead. I mean, yeah.
He's toast. I liked. I was wondering if we'll ever see any history to Callus and how he seemed to have some knowledge of the Jedi.
That'd be cool.
The fact that there was a master and apprentice back in the day, and even Obi-Wan says, the whole thing with the temple, that's done. Don't go back to the temple.
Right.
That time's over. But I also wanted to kind of point out, we were talking about the dead stormtroopers. I really liked, it's kind of strange, I guess to say, but I liked in the scene where they were aboard the Star Destroyer and they didn't have any gravity, that the stormtrooper bodies were kind of floating in their way and they were maneuvering past them. Then when the gravity came back on, everything just fell flat to the ground and they just bounced off the ground.
Yeah.
I'm like, these poor guys, man.
Oh no, definitely. That was something that I think again really shows the way this show is going to be progressing. And dude, we're only in the first episode, and 33, if not more, stormtroopers are dead.
Right.
So again, any of you guys thinking that this is a kids show, Aladdin, blah blah blah, you guys need to stop. Me and Logan, we're compiling a little something about that. We'll talk about that soon, but.
Oh yeah, it's kind of mean, but it's all in good fun.
It's all for fun. It's not really mean. It's just kind of talking about.
It's just a discussion, kind of on.
Don't give it away.
Aren't happy.
Yeah, we're basically gonna talk about the people who we've made a list of comments that we need to talk about about various Rebels, and Rebels is amazing. Love Rebels. Can't say enough good things about this episode. Ezra found his helmet, and then he didn't find his helmet, then he threw his helmet away.
Did you see in the scene where he was in his secret stash that he had all different helmets, and one of the stormtrooper helmets was cut apart at the mouth? So it kind of leaves part of it off. That's very interesting because I always kind of wondered if that was removable on the stormtrooper. Maybe that's how they switch their breathing gear or something like that. Yeah. How do you put that on? So maybe we'll see some kit bashed stormtroopers, if you will.
Could be. I did notice that he didn't have his TIE Fighter pilot helmet that he got in the previous mini short that comes before this episode.
I think that might be part of a different show, like another episode, because there were some scenes that I saw in the previews that were not in this movie, so it's got to be more adventures on Lothar, whatever the planet's name is.
Those previews that we saw with Ezra finding the TIE Fighter helmet and all those are not part of the episodes. Those are standalone shorts made before Rebels airs.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was announced by Disney XD and Star Wars Rebels Facebook page about a few months ago. So, those will be available on the Spark of Rebellion DVD that are coming out 2 weeks. So, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Do you guys have anything else to say about this awesome episode?
Yes.
Yes.
The onslaught of merchandise is starting to hit stores.
Yes, let's talk about that. So yeah, like Dan just said, Star Wars Rebels products are really starting to hit. If you guys are a fan already of Kanan, you can pick up the 18-inch. We should really get paid for all this advertising. You can get this Kanan Jarrus action figure. It's 18 inches, pretty big, 7 points of articulation, but it really looks like Kanan. We did a full-on review of it. I'm a huge fan of this figure. I really, really like all the detailing and the
all the holes in the back. Good lord.
Oh, he got shot by I like that armor detail right there on his side, and so I liked this one. I also reviewed this guy as well. We got Ezra and his lightsaber, which he has not gotten in this show yet, so I'm excited to see him kind of. Still early, yes. So I'm very excited to see how this is constructed and how that comes about. Again, good detail on this figure. These cost about $20 to $22 depending on where you get it. Toys R Us and Walmart are currently carrying these, so that's pretty awesome. You can also get Star Wars Rebels plushes at Toys R Us for $12.99. I got the Zeb Aurelios plush because I needed something Zeb before the premiere. So I'm really excited about this guy. You can also get a pretty big Chopper plush right here. He's about the size of my head. Well, bigger. So very cool little guy. He cost about $25 at Toys R Us or Target. So I like him. From Hasbro, if you're lucky, you can find the vehicles. You can get the Phantom currently at Toys R Us for $22.99. Again, if you're lucky.
They're not out.
Yeah.
Not near me.
Of great detailing. The wings flapping. Really like the Phantom. So you can get this at Toys R Us, Target, Walmart as soon as they start hitting. They've already hit Toys R Us, but not my Toys R Us. I got the
Toys R Us is having a sale this week. Buy one, get one 40% off. You know what they don't have? Toys you can buy.
That's right.
So shame on Toys R Us, shame on Hasbro for not having product out the week of the sale. That's just silly.
Yeah, and here's the Hasbro ATDP. I definitely will be picking up more of these. So, loving that. Also, we have Rebels 3-pack, which comes with an action figure of Kanan. Action figure of Ezra. And he comes with a helmet that we saw in the show.
Wait, does Ezra come with a lightsaber?
No, I just put an open on there. Oh, yeah, I should have said that. And then a holographic Obi-Wan Kenobi figure. And then also, I'm going to go ahead and grab him over here.
Don't forget the big dude.
Big 31-inch Inquisitor. So, lots
now, my question, Corey, how much are you getting paid for this advertising?
I'm getting all these free. No.
Hasbro, we'd love to sponsor it.
Well, these giant figures are not made by Hasbro. Aren't they made by Jack Pacific?
Oh, those, yeah.
Yeah,
and the plush toys are made by who? Comic Images? I think that's who that is. I've also seen things like earbuds, lunch boxes, chairs, all kinds of crazy
Backpacks.
stuff.
I've seen those.
What's that?
Backpacks. That's what the only
Backpacks,
Rebels.
lunchboxes, socks, underwear. Who knows?
So here's the Hasbro 12-inch Titan series Inquisitor. Really cool detail. I reviewed him as well.
That.
You are?
Yeah.
Got a spinning lightsaber. He also comes with a really cool helmet.
But I have a feeling I'm gonna end up owning that.
Really loving this figure. Oh, oops. Guess not enough.
When you break it.
And I break it. Oh.
Spin it fast enough, he flies.
And you also have the command line.
Oh, you
We're
brought
not talking about that. Moving on.
Yeah, Star Wars
Sorry,
Command.
showed a couple of them.
Alright, so we got like the Inquisitor command figure, and we got, the Ghost, and I don't want to talk about them anymore, so...
I wish that we were getting an articulated action figure in 4-inch scale, but we're not.
No.
They just showed Kanan's ass. That's awesome.
Sorry. I was trying to move him over here.
I think we should end the show.
I think we should probably end the show now. So, everybody, go check out Star Wars Rebels on the Disney XD app. Go check out our 2 sponsors, Beyond Mortality Toys, where you can get the latest Star Wars Rebels action figures in a case. Go check out DarksideToys.com for the latest Star Wars Black Series figures, 6-inch, 3 3/4-inch, whatever you need. Go check them out. You can get our links on our website directly to their page, and you can get your Rebels figures. You can also go on ToysRUs.com to get the Rebels set. So, or go to watch Disney XD if it can work for you. Watch Rebels, or if you can't, watch Rebels next Friday at what is it, 9? Yeah, 9 o'clock. So. Thank you, everybody, for watching our first WolfPack podcast roundtable for Star Wars Rebels. This is going to be a lot of fun to kick it off, and we'll be back reviewing Season 1, Episode 3. I forget the name of it, but that will be on October. I don't know the date, so I'll let you guys know. 13th. Okay. All right. May the Force be with you guys.
Later.
Bye.